I gotta be honest. I thought this would be an easy video to edit. I'd be like, it's DJI, this stuff really works well. It's just like pop, open it up, get it on, take some footage, boom, done. Nope. Hey, how you doing? It's Vic Barry. In today's video, the DJI Osmo, no, it's not the Osmo, it is the DJI Action 2. This is the full retail version. I paid in my own hard-earned cash for this. Yeah, DJI can't keep doing this. Please send me something, anything, money. Anyway, let's get into this and let's find out, is this the camera for you? Because I'm not sure this is an action camera, but they're kind of built it for vlogging as well. So let's get in to see what we actually get, because there's a couple of weird things, especially about this, that I'm kind of surprised at. So let's get into it. YouTube knife. Whoop, down we go. And I gotta tell you, I know very little about this actual camera. I know it does 4K 120 and I know it's got really good stabilization, but I'm not sure the size. This thing feels tiny. The box, I mean, look at this. It's tiny, it's incy. Is that a word that you guys would use, incy? And as usual, I struggle with all DJI boxes to open. Here, flap, open the flap. So we get this out. We have stuff that we top down shot. Look at this! There ain't no way this thing is doing 4K 120. Look at the size of this thing. All right, what else we got inside here? So this is the dual screen, which magnetically connects to this, but there's a very good reason that this connects to this, and I'll get into that in a second. It's one of the things I found really bizarre about the actual camera unit. So what else we got in the box? YouTube knife. Let's get this open. Oh yeah, let's not slice off any fingers. So there is some really good functional accessories from what I understand with this DJI Action 2, and I'm just gonna call it the Osmo Action 2. So here we have a 1/4 inch thread. So here we have a little magnetic mount with a 1/4 inch. Okay, we'll get into that in a sec. So that's one object. Like the packaging, you know, I know it's a cliche saying, but you know, the best thing comes in small. Yeah, anyway. I just kind of like the incy wincy kind of feel of everything. But again, is this thing going to be any good quality wise? So we have another 1/4 inch mount, I think. Don't say what it is, I'm sure I'll figure it out. And in here, YouTube knife, get it out, Vic. We have a USB-C cable to give it some juice. We have something that you absolutely should never eat, but always keep them, because if you sink your drone, these may save it. First off, I'm thinking to myself, all of these tiny accessories are going to be lost real quick. So this is unopenable. So this is a kind of the GoPro style mount that we have. Again, it's got that magnetic base. I'm thinking, this thing is magnetic. Like, how strong can the magnets be? I know on the Osmo, the ON4, the ON5, the magnets are pretty strong, but these things are tiny. I cannot see these things being any good. So what else we got here? We have a magnetic, by all accounts, this goes around you, and it goes inside here, and then the camera sticks there. So that is everything that's in the box. We need the Mimo app. Now let's unbox. Man, the size of this thing. I don't know, there hasn't been an action for a camera from DJI in a while. I think it's been 2.5 years. While GoPro obviously churns stuff out every year. Dude, I gotta say, this thing is absolutely tiny. Okay, problem number one, the lens is completely exposed to glass, and I have no idea whether it's easily replaceable. It don't look like it. Okay, so we need some screen protector or something. So that's problem number one, but outside of that, we have a field of view of 155 degrees, which is pretty wide. It's a 2.8 aperture, so you are going to get a little bit of blur. So there's our USB charging port. I presume there's a little bit of juice in this, and this is the SD card. You're like, where does the SD card go in the camera? Here's the thing, there is no SD card in here. You can't put an SD card into this. You need this or the other power adapter module. However, there is onboard storage of 22 point something gigabytes on this, which you can record directly, which is a pretty good thing. But no, here's the thing for me, before we even turn this on, this thing powering up. Oh man, I've turned it on. How do I get it off? Okay, so we have to pull down on the little clips here. And okay, I cannot really put into words how strong this is. Let me see. So right now, this is how far away it is. Focus FX3. So around here, it's starting to pull, and then boom. So this is a really strong magnet, and it is absolutely helped by these clips here. These are securing in, so that's a useful, I mean, look. Okay, so far, nice. I've already smudged something on the screen. So now this is in Chinese. Is it upside down? So what do I do? DJI Action 2. This is interesting. And I've also the screen here. Is this going to be another GoPro setup? So first off, we need to get the Mimo app, which we have, of course, some other DJI products. It's saying device found. So let's go connect. See, does that make a difference to all of this? So DJI Action 0, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's the verification code. We're going to go accept. It's kind of weird that this is in Chinese. Maybe it's a firmware. I don't know. I don't know what I've actually pressed. I have no idea what that's saying. Connection timeout. What is it with me and setup? So there is no option here. You have got to connect this, but I'm wondering why is it in Chinese? I thought this would be easy. Generally, DJI stuff is very good. Okay, so you have to do it on the actual camera versus this, which is pretty confusing. Saying to activate it. Alrighty, let's go activate. Activate. It's activating. Okay, so that's kind of, I guess, confusing and stressful. So step number one, I don't want to, yeah, I'm sure I want to exit. So start shooting. So downloading the firmware, which I would suspect this is probably one of the first retail versions out there. And that's why it just came in Chinese, which I had no clue. But the thing is, you have to do it on the actual camera. Now, that aside, let's get the firmware updated and let's give some first impressions of this, because this thing is really sweet. Problems connecting, so let's shut everything down. So we're in, second time around. Not as bad as the GoPro, but we still need to update the actual firmware. While we're installing today's firmware, it is important to note that you will not get 4K 120 out of this until you actually update the firmware and lots of the other functions as well. So that's always the first thing out of the box. I wouldn't say it's painless, but if you're a brand new user, you might be a little bit, But as we can see, it is updating. Now, first thing I've noticed here is this thing is incredibly warm. Like, this has been on, how long is this video recorded? This has been on only a couple of minutes. So I'm kind of thinking, why is this is quite warm to touch. Now, I know somebody's like, look at the size of it, man. What do you expect it to be, like ice cold, like a polar bear? So you're not going to get out and get recording really with this out of the box to explore the full functionality of the whole thing. Now, let's get on this, and I'm going to run around the house here. Somebody's going, Vic, you ain't running anywhere. So this needs to go on your top, and then this sticks on here. I mean, this thing, you've no idea how powerful this magnet is, except I'm strong and can get it off. So let's go and see how everything looks. And it's going to be a low light test as well, by the way, because it's nighttime when it's late. And yeah, anyway, right, let's go. Oh, my hips. Going on, family. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Look at the camera. Now let's jump back into the studio for some further thoughts. Let me know how the audio sounds in this as well, by the way. Now, gotta say, this thing is really, really warm. Now, this is actually at 4K 60. We're relying on the phone connection to get the actual footage off of it. And it's not a constant connection, so you're gonna have to connect each time. From kind of an editing workflow perspective, the fact that you have to go from your phone to your laptop or desktop That can be obviously a bit of a pain in the butt. And we have our first piece of footage, and then we can download the HD files to the app album. We can also share the files on social media or export to a phone album, that's what I'm going to do. Downloading work failed. Instantly for me, this on its own is probably not going to be any good for that internal recording, because you know, it's just painful. You can't just get the footage right off of the SD card. This is preparing the file. And to be honest, I have no idea how long this is going to take to actually prepare the footage to send it. Yeah, like I'm done here. I'm canceling that. Unable to exit. So I can't cancel it. I can't cancel it. I can't cancel it. I gotta be honest. I thought this would be an easy video to edit. I'd be like, it's DJI, their stuff really works well. It's just like pop, open it up, get it on, take some footage, boom, done. Nope. I've found a problem with this, and the way to fix it for everything to work just that bit quicker, to get the footage off of the internal storage, disconnect it from this. As soon as I disconnected it, boom, really worked super fast. So this is future Vic going to past Vic going, shut up, but for everyone else going, disconnect this thing if you're pulling the footage off the internal storage, otherwise stick with the SD card. First impressions of this are the magnets are absolutely insanely strong. To give you an idea, I'm gonna put it on the 1/4" mount here. Everything snaps in. I mean, I'm pulling hard here. I'm afraid I'm sure like if you were the Hulk, you could smash this. Let's get this on. The magnets are exceptionally strong. I mean, this is moving the actual ball head, and the ball head is pretty stiff. There's no real way of tightening it, which is fine, but it's pretty stiff, and that's well wedged on there. So this really isn't gonna go anywhere. What happens if it's stuck onto a car? I don't know. Screen on the back is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. It's really responsive, looks well. The exact same on this one. You can see the setup here at the moment while we're changing a few bits around. So this again works really well. Nice thing to have. I think the design is a bit, I think it's typical DJI. They kind of really do break the mold when it comes to design. But other than that, it's, yeah, I mean, I like it. You can frame yourself quite well, you know. You can change your modes, you can record, everything is very functional. It just works. So who's this for? Is this for you? You know, I'm just putting it here as a kind of a test when it comes to, number one, the actual audio, and number two, how does it look in a kind of a studio setup? From an action camera perspective, you're always going to have a confidence thing. Will this snap off if it's violent enough? I really don't want to break this straight away, so I'm sure it would, depending on, you know, what you're coming off of. But it's geared at vlogging. This is a very good vlogging camera in the sense that it is tiny, like the Osmo Pocket or the DJI Pocket 2 or the original Osmo Pocket. It was one of my favorite cameras of all time. So that works in that capacity. So, you know, I mean, arguably you could have it here. It's smaller than your phone. It's smaller than the GoPro. At the end of the day, this thing is absolutely tiny, so tiny. So first impressions are, this is really good. The footage is what it is. It's a tiny sensor, it's a tiny camera. The fact it's doing 4K 120 is mind-boggling. This thing is really impressive. Gotta say, I'm happy with this. It does feel like it's a little bit of innovation compared to GoPro churning out the same camera time and time again. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see footage of this versus the GoPro. I should have my new GoPro Hero 10 back anytime soon after I smashed it. But yeah, first impressions, this thing is awesome.